Jagdio to sue Mr. Sue over statements. Bodies of two men found in Pomeroon River. IDB approves funding for new solar projects. And why I doubt anything will come of the corruption allegation. I am Enrico Bolford, and this is Uncut News. Do you see news happening? Send us a tip on WhatsApp at 592-659-615. In response to the claims of corruption highlighted in the Vice News report, Guyana for Sale, the U.S. Embassy in Georgetown today said that accountability and a level playing field are critical for investor confidence. The embassy told Gordon Mosley that, quote, the U.S. has long been an advocate for anti-corruption and rule of law in Guyana, as well as a free press, adding that consistent with Guyana's laws, accountability is the soundest approach to maintain confidence in government and a level playing field for all investors. End quote. And that's it. Meanwhile, the government is going on the defensive. The president is calling on Vice to air the full interview in the interest of transparency. However, the opposition has seen enough and is now calling for an independent international investigation. The AFC is demanding that a leading internationally recognized auditing firm conducts the investigation, while members of the PNC have since called for the vice president to resign outright. Meanwhile, Jagdio has categorically denied any claims of corruption and declared that he is ready to sue Mr. Sue and evict him from his home for besmirching his good name. China is yet to make another statement on the matter since their previous one months ago. Guyanese national Christopher Richard Spencer was arrested in Kenya last week, only to be deported to the United States on Saturday to face drug-related charges. Up until his arrest last week Friday, Christopher Richard Spencer has been on the run since March 2017 after he failed to show up to his court date, where he was accused of being part of a syndicate that smuggled 1.5 kilograms of cocaine through shoe luggage in 2015. On Monday afternoon, the bodies of 29-year-old Devon Norton and 18-year-old Sherwin Adolphus were located in the Pomeroon River. The two cousins were heading home to Hackney along the Pomeroon River to celebrate Father's Day on Sunday when their boat collided with a fishing vessel around 5 p.m. They were returning from the interior where they worked as gold miners. 22-year-old miner Sheldon Harry has succumbed to injuries after being set on fire more than 2 weeks ago by his colleague Christian Joseph. Harry's girlfriend, 30-year-old Gracie, was also burned, but she has since been discharged from the hospital. The couple was set on fire on June 5th at Peruni Landing Mazaruni River. Meanwhile, Christian Joseph is still on the run. Now it's time to tell you about Best Buy's Car of the Week. Currently on sale is this 2016 Suzuki Jimmy Sierra 4-wheel drive. It comes with regular and low-range 4-wheel drive, Bluetooth, mug rims, new tires, TV, CD, stereo, fog lamps, back camera, and much, much more. Buy cash for $3.4 million. Or pay as low as $700,000 down with around $67,000 monthly for 5 years, and it is yours. Call or WhatsApp 662-0844 for more info. Or visit the showrooms at Lot 171 Pideroshi, Queenstown. A lot to the Street, and tell them Lucas sent you for this sweet deal. The body of 79-year-old recently deceased man Mohabir Rangasamy had to be removed yesterday from what was expected to be its final resting place after it was discovered that it had been given to the wrong family, which had carried out a funeral and burial on the previous Tuesday. His relatives were able to cremate his body yesterday, but remained without answers as to how the mix-up occurred in the first place. The matter has since been reported to the police, and the family is now seeking to sue the funeral home. According to the family, the funeral home has not offered any apology whatsoever. Wow, this is quite senseless and unprofessional. This morning, 49-year-old farmer Morvin Putdial was left injured in a critical condition at the city public hospital after he lost control of his motorcycle and ended up in a nearby trench. Putdial suffered severe head injuries in the wreck and is currently in the hospital's ICU. The IDB has just approved the use of US $83.3 million under the Guyana Red Plus Investment Fund to finance the construction of 8 large-scale solar farms. The IDB said that a 10 megawatts peak will go to the Berbice area, an 8 megawatts peak project in their Sequibo system with a minimum of 12 megawatt hours battery storage and 15 megawatts connected to the Linden system with a minimum of 22 megawatt hours battery storage. But that's crotch in Guyana. Wait, that should read, for all sizes of clutch disc and pressure plates for heavy-duty trucks in Guyana, check out Power.Motive. Get this and other high-quality truck parts at the lowest prices. Visit them at Lot 1161 EE Eccles, or call them on telephone number 697-0171. Save big on truck parts at Power.Motive, the #1 heavy-duty truck parts store in Guyana. Now for today's oil update. Guyana has now around 11 billion barrels of oil equivalent. Proven oil reserves are those that have a reasonable certainty of being recoverable under existing economic conditions with existing technology. And based on the most recent survey, Guyana has the 17th largest proven reserves in the world, putting us one rank above Mexico and one spot below Algeria. And in other oil news, Eco Atlantic Oil and Gas Limited recently announced that it will no longer be acquiring JHI Associates, an oil company with 17.5% ownership of Guyana's Kanji block. Eco said that while all main commercial points were agreed upon, they couldn't agree on the terms of their lockup arrangement. Eco's founder and chief executive, Gil Holtman, said they currently hold 7% interest in JHI and as such retain exposure to the potential of the Kanji block. Eco said it may reevaluate the proposed acquisition later. It might not be robbery season, but the streets are still mean. That's why you need to get security for your home and business through Sheriff Security Service. Sheriff Security offers well-trained guards, armed and unarmed patrol, marine patrol, K-9 services. These people even got drones. Why? Because your security is their highest priority. You've seen the rest, now hire the best. Hire Sheriff Security Service today. You know what I think is stupid? The hype that surrounded the Vice News report on Guyana. I don't know about you, but I assumed I was going to be getting bombshell after bombshell revelation on the extent of corruption within Guyana's government. I thought we were going to get a view of the seedy underbelly of how it's all done. But it just turned out to be another anti-China hit piece that just makes Guyana look like just another third world corrupt nation led by corrupt leaders. I mean, because honestly, I thought we were going to hear Jagdeo laying out the whole dirty truth of his operation on hidden camera with Mr. Two in the corner there, just nodding his head the whole time, just going, yes. But no. Instead, all we got was 15 minutes of what we already knew. Influence peddling is rampant in Guyana, and as vice president, Jagdeo implicitly has a role in it. And anyway, regardless, bribe or not, there is a serious problem with the vice president having such meetings in his living room, period. That is not how a democratic government is supposed to operate. It does not seem like it's above board at all. But you know what's even more upsetting about this whole thing? Corruption and bribery are serious allegations to have against oneself. And yet, I am confident that he will not face any sanction whatsoever. In actual working democracies, a president would often suspend their vice president or cabinet members if they are even accused of corruption. And when they are of the level of seriousness as what is being implied in the Vice News documentary, then they would even trigger a dismissal and a police investigation. But, unfortunately, we all know this will not happen. Instead, the government will continue to go on the defensive. They will just continue to say that Jagdeo is being unfairly targeted by terrible people with terrible agendas. Yes, some people will reject this, but then they will probably turn around and intimidate dissenting voices into silence. And if the government doesn't do that, their supporters will. Then after all that, they'll probably just, give out some money to some folks, and then by next month, it'll probably just be back to business as usual, because everyone would have just moved on, or possibly even just forgot about it, just like they moved on and forgot about all the other times before. And, just for once, I really wish I could be proven wrong and something would actually break this cycle. Because allowing this cycle of gaslighting and corruption to continue, in my opinion, is pretty stupid. Now for our uncut news, views poll question of the day. Every day we pose a question on current events in Ghana, the region, the diaspora, and how you feel it may was. On Friday, I asked about the increase of the minimum wage and how you felt about it. Epic Genesis says even working for $100,000 is not enough, as people with this salary are already straining to get by. Ghana needs a united effort to challenge the survival state we're living in, because it's clear that our leaders think that we are okay as we are and benefiting like their associates. Indeed, it is truly sad, but you're absolutely correct. Anand Barker says, I understand what you're saying, but I'm thankful for the 60K. I mean, it's better than nothing. We should all be thankful for it. Navindra Lal disagrees. He says 60K is never enough because the government salary is over $1 million and more per month, plus all the allowances, and all of this is on we, the taxpayers. Indeed, we're paying for the salaries, and they don't even pay taxes. Krish Sukraj says the sole Guyana employee's minimum wage for 2022 is $130,000, which is equivalent to 285.5% or 2.5 times the minimum rate at Kaisuko. You're absolutely correct, and that's a sad reality. Kenneth Basil says the reality is that the business owners will only pass on the increased wage expenses to the consumers in the form of higher prices, leaving the worker more or less in the same state as before the increase. But I guess anything that takes the focus away from equitable distribution of the wealth generated from our natural resources, such as oil, gold, and timber, etc., is a welcome distraction. You know you're absolutely correct, and that's why you're going to see the handouts increase. Because if they keep giving out the handouts, you won't be concerned about the process of how the money's being made. Now, before we get to tonight's question, you can multiply your cash by selling Digicel Top-Up. This is a legit way you can earn some extra money at your business or to supplement your current hustle. Become a top-up vendor quick and easy by linking with Cellular Plus. Call them on telephone number 685-3109 for more info. Now for tonight's question. What was your opinion on the Vice News report? Did you think it was actually anything revelatory? Or does it just sound like business as usual? I just want to know. In fact, do you think Jagdeo will actually face some sort of investigation or sanction whatsoever? Or will it just be business as usual? I want you to think about that question. Tell us in the comments below. If your response is good enough, we just might feature it in our next episode. Anyway, that's all the time we have for tonight, and check us out tomorrow for another. Until then, I'm Rico Bulford saying good night, folks.